Hello, this is Team Dawgsforce, and today I will be giving you a brief demo on work that has been done during Sprint 4. So since we last met, functionality has been added around the client object, which in Campus Kitchen terms is the family that will be receiving the donated food. This involves attributes including the household size, which is how many people will be receiving food, as well as their address, their referral date, and many other things that you will see soon. Secondly, functionality has been added around the delivery routes class, which tracks what neighborhoods volunteers will be visiting to donate food and organizes the client deliveries in routes. And then third, functionality has been added around the client delivery instance. So as I mentioned, when they're going into the different neighborhoods and donating food, it records for each family a record noting that so many meals have been delivered. So if you combine all of those three classes and their info, we created a generate delivery status report, which can be viewed here. And just as a disclaimer, this sprint is not 100% complete because we noticed a bug of sorts within Salesforce that is called smart totaling, which prevents us from accurately subtotaling our delivery status report. So we will be investigating this Salesforce problem and hopefully have a response by the next sprint in regard to the report. But let's dig into what we've done and start by looking at the client class. So if a new family would like to be served by Campus Kitchen, you'll see we have family representatives here. But as I mentioned, if a new one wants to be served, you would click New, and we've organized the form into two columns. The left column is all about the family attributes, which is their name, referral information, and additional things you will see. And then the right column includes everything around their desires as far as food goes. So, how do we want to label them? Do they have any special requirements? So the left is all about the family, the right is all about how we're going to serve the family. So let's kind of show you how this works. So say we have a client named Morgan Miller. The leader decides to go by Morgan. They are in the GRG program. Let's say they were referred to us on Friday, and that they were referred to the ACCA, let's say on Monday. However, the ACCA couldn't serve them, so they exited on Thursday. This all is information that the Campus Kitchen will have. Next, you will see their status. As of now, they're active, but say Morgan does not answer the door frequently, and so volunteers are wasting their time, they could put the client on probation, which they would still be served, but basically they're on warning status. And then these two would be if we're temporarily not serving the family or we are permanently not serving the family, which is archived. And if these are selected, we have created a filter so that you cannot create a client delivery instance for archived clients. So volunteers are unable to deliver to clients that are archived. So this client is not archived, so we're going to leave this blank because it's an optional field. And then we need to know where to deliver the food to. So let's say 2050 Riverwalk Drive, Athens, Georgia 30406. Latitude and longitude will be tracked through the Map Anything app, which Campus Kitchen currently has, so we will leave that alone. The application will take care of that. And then the route ID, realistically, when you're entering information, the volunteers or the administrators who will be adding the clients will know that certain delivery routes are associated with certain neighborhoods. So say this client is in the Cedar Creek neighborhood, Then we will search 10 because we know 10 is Cedar Creek. Then we'll select 10. Next, primary phone number, we'll do 706-901-9079. Secondary is optional if they have it. Okay, so that's all about the client. Next is kind of how they want to be served. Bag only is an optional field where if they don't want meals but they just want groceries, let's say they want both. So the bag tag name is going to be their family name. So let's say Miller. The household count is we purposely required you to fill in the adult, youth, and senior count as well as the household count, but realistically these three fields will sum up to the household count. So we added default zeros to kind of help you out here. So say they have two adults, one senior, and 0 youths. So that will be a total of 3. And then client notes, let's say prefer to be delivered in the morning. And then dietary restrictions, let's say they have none. Meal additions, they have none. These are all optional just in case you need to add it. And then we'll click save. So Morgan Miller was created. It's now in our system and you can see all of the info here. Let's say, just to kind of show you, if you were to try to add a client without filling in all of the necessary fields, it will prevent you. So say a volunteer is not paying attention and they just say, hi, and they don't enter anything else, it will prevent you from adding it. And it says these required fields must be added. So that's good protection. So that's functionality around the client field. Next, we'll see add delivery routes. And we purposely place this tile at the bottom of the website because you won't be adding clients or delivery routes very often. You'll be adding clients around maybe 5 times a year, and then delivery routes probably even less than that. However, these are our current delivery routes, but if you needed to add a delivery route, a form would show up where you would add your delivery day. So let's say we're going to add one on Wednesday. You would add the neighborhood name, let's say Highland Point, and then the route ID, we're going to add a new one. It's 11. You could save that. Okay, so that all works wonderfully. Next, the third acceptance criteria that we addressed is recording the actual delivery instances, which is achieved in client delivery. So these are all client delivery IDs. We created a unique identifier that will allow you to track individual IDs. So let's say we have a volunteer that just delivered some stuff. You're going to search by the client name. So we added Morgan just a second ago. Say we click Morgan, and the date we donated to the Miller family is, let's say we did it on, let's say the 6th. The driver name we'll say is Julia Jules. The delivery status, we added the same functionality as we previously showed you in the Sprint 3 for the destination delivery. So it's either not home or successful. So say they weren't home. Then it allows you to decide, do you want to cancel it? Do you still need to reschedule? Have you rescheduled, or is it successfully redone? So let's say it needs to be rescheduled. And then whenever you reschedule it, you could add event notes. So yay, we add the client delivery status, and that's great. This is all very similar to the destination delivery instance. So now that those are added, we'll show you the report that we created. So let's look here. We have added a new one called Client Delivery Report. And in this report, you will see that the report is grouped by delivery status. So out of the not home statuses, we have different options here, the canceled, need to reschedule, and redone. So the redone ones essentially are successful, and then you'll see these successful ones here as well. So this really can be used to understand how many meals have been delivered. So eventually we're going to want subtotals for each category. However, we noticed that there is a bug in Salesforce called smart totaling, where if they see that you have the same client full name, it won't add the individual instances. And the reason we believe this is true is because the client full name is the primary key in the client class. And so it's organizing the data based on client full name. And even though we have a client deliveries unique ID, it is considering the client full name when it's organizing these subtotals. So what it does is it just considers basically this 5 plus 5 is just 5. So it's doing 5 plus these two are the same, 5 is 10. However, what it should be doing is 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. So in order to overcome this, we need to find a way to allow Salesforce to add duplicate records because it's viewing Rain Matthews as the same record. And we will be working, like I said, to resolve this. However, it's currently a bug in Salesforce. So the subtotals are not totally accurate because we have more than 14. However, you can manually add these as you see fit. So this report still is very useful in tracking the meals to report because every time you create an instance from, say, the James family, they will always receive 5 meals. So that is useful. So looking forward to the next sprint, we will be working to resolve the subtotal issue as well as we will be working to automatically create a record at 6 p.m. of the date of delivery. Currently, we ran into an issue where we are storing the delivery day as a pick list option, which doesn't directly relate to a calendar. So we will be working on kind of restructuring and building the system to allow the auto creation of a record based on the day. So the report subtotal and the auto creation are two major challenges that we'll be facing and tackling in the next sprint, as well as looking at some owner permissions. So if we look over at our acceptance criteria, we have successfully recorded client deliveries and creating a client deliveries client class. As I mentioned, we're going to continue working on the auto creation of records and as well as the subtotals. However, all of our classes have been built and functionalities are built around those. So moving forward, we're mostly done. We just have to fix those 2 issues and then add some user permission things, and then we will be all ready to hand over the final product to Campus Kitchen. So thank you for your time, and we look forward to speaking with you one last time next week for Sprint 5. Thanks.